It is the first morning of Bout of Books. We have some coffee on the go, we have some toast on the go, and I'm excited to get stuck into the next little chunk of page 2, Only Love Can Hurt Like This, that I am buddy reading with Hayley. I did read the first 4 or 5 chapters yesterday, I can't remember, but it was basically 16%, so that's where I'm starting with that one. I need to read the next 2 installments of the Escape to Darling Cove part. Because I'm at home today, I'm thinking that I might read my Heartstopper yearbook, and then audiobook wise I'm very excited to get stuck into Dear Dolly. So first day, very ambitious, but then the next 4 days are going to be school days, so I think I'm right to be ambitious on this first day and then kind of give myself a little bit of grace the next 4 days, and then we'll come back and be ambitious for the weekend again. How does that sound? So despite all the Vlogmas videos I made, it's been a while since I made a reading vlog. So just going to start off with a quick TBR before we get into the main part of the reading vlog. It is day 1 of Bout of Books. It's a bank holiday, so I have already done some reading. I've updated you a little bit on here. I'm going to do some reading just now, but just a TBR for you very quickly so you know what I'm reading. If you've already seen my January TBR, most of the titles are lifted from here, so just very quickly doing a buddy read this week with the lovely Hayley. Page 2, Only Love Can Hurt Like This. I am currently 30% into this because I did yesterday's reading and today's reading of this one, and oh, it's just so compelling. It's really hard to stop. I think if I wasn't buddy reading this, I would read this whole thing today, and so I am loving that. And then my other sort of sneak-ins that snuck in off my December TBR, we have Escape to Darling Cove Part 3, Stormy Seas, which, spoiler alert, I have just finished as I'm filming this video. So it's the first finish of the Bout of Books Readathon. Very exciting. And then we have Escape to Darling Cove Part 4, Setting Sail, because the bind-up of this one of all 4 parts, which, can I just reach it, is up here. All 4 parts comes out on the 5th, on Thursday the 5th of January. I'll leave it linked in the description box because it'll already be out by the time you're seeing this. So I've read part 3 already. I've obviously read some of my page 2 already. I'll have to work out page counts for that as we update pages per day. And then audiobook that I have started listening to whilst I was doing the washing up this morning, we have Dear Dolly on Love, Life and Friendship by Dolly Alderton. This is quite a short non-fiction audiobook, and so I could see myself finishing this one today. And so the other audiobook that is on my TBR is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, which I will hope to start on my commute to school tomorrow. I have a couple of like after school training things where I have to go to other places, and I've got a cinema visit planned this week, and so I'm hoping to be able to get through this entire audiobook as well. I am worried that this one's going to be a bit depressing for the start of the year. Like, isn't it Blue Monday like next week or something? A little bit worried that I'm starting a depressing audiobook. And then graphic novel, we have Heartstopper the yearbook, which again I am just about to sit down and start because it matches my reading chair, as you can see, so it needs to be read in this chair. It's pink and teal. I'm wearing pink and teal, and yes, this is a new sweatshirt from my trip. It's lovely and cozy and just not too thick, but just lovely. So I just started reading this one. So it's like an artwork collection, and you can have a little pause and look at the contents there. And so it's really interesting because Alice Oseman talks about herself and then her creation of Nick and of Charlie, and I think that this is probably going to want to prompt me to read the audiobook of Solitaire by Alice Oseman, where Nick and Charlie are first introduced as Charlie is the brother of the main character in Solitaire. So but yeah, as I say, I've been put off reading Solitaire in the past because I was like, she was about 14 when she wrote this, and I'll just be jealous of the fact that she's managed to create this and I've never managed to finish writing anything. I'm also tempted to pick up the audiobook of People you meet at a wedding or people at a wedding, because there is the film of that on Amazon Prime just now, and then I could make my book versus movie. But we'll just see how it goes. We're just running this as I've got a selection of books to choose from, play by play, day by day, update kind of thing. So yes. But yeah, I'm going to get on with reading Heartstopper, the yearbook. I will keep you updated as we go along, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. I'm loving how like purple this wall looks because of the reflection off the chair right now. You'll have seen in my other videos it's not purple. Did I just make myself an iced coffee that like matches my sweatshirt? Yes I did. This is colour changing, so you can see the very top of it here has not gone dark pink, so when it cools down or when I've drunk the coffee down, it becomes just a pearlescent, iridescent colour. But I do love this one. I ordered this one especially because most of the ones were 16 ounces and I was like, that's not going to be big enough. I need a 20 ounce in case I want to do a quad shot. But it being a bank holiday, we've only got a double shot in here. Little oat milk iced latte, why not? And it's obviously warm in here because we've got some condensation, so that's encouraging. It's actually warm in my house. Just went for a lovely lunch. I had a mac and cheese bowl that had spicy chicken on top of it, and it was delightful. Had a little beverage to go with it as well. And I'm going to finish off my Heartstopper book. Then I will look at whether I want to read my final instalment of Escape to Darling Cove, or whether I want to save that and read it in the bath and pick up something else. And then I'm going to make a pan au chocolat bread and butter pudding because we're running out of space in the freezer, and we had a load of pan au chocolat in there because neither of us like them, and we often get them in like Starbucks or Greg's Too Good To Go bags or other Too Good To Go bags. It seems like pan au chocolat's the thing that they have left. Neither of us like them at all. And so I'm going to make a bread and butter pudding out of that that'll last us into the week. So that'll be yeah, that'll be good. And I'll listen to my audiobook whilst I do it, so I need to find my headphones actually. I've got my stinky travel headphones that I took on the plane with me. I forget how bad they smell because I used to just use them in the gym. But I need to find my actual red headphones. So yeah, gonna get on with that, and I'll let you know what I decide. It's like 4:10, so it's not quite bath time yet, but bath time can be any time you want it to be. It's a social construct or something. Look, there you go, you can see the like lighter colour going on here. I do love this cup so much. I'll try and leave the shop linked in the description if I remember. Remind me, yeah? Also, best Secret Santa Christmas gift. Love this one. And this book smells really good, so just putting that out there for you as well. So if you watch my Vlogmas videos, you will know that I was like, I'm not going to get to the end of my advent calendar before I go away. So I thought, let's open them this week. So there's number 18, which I have opened apparently. There's number 19. Oh, it's an espresso. We don't need an espresso this morning. As much as it is a nice espresso, we're not going to be making that one today. Also seem to have woken up ill. So that's not fair or fun or helpful. And here's where the video took a turn, because on day 2 I woke up with zero voice, feeling like I had all the symptoms of everything, felt really awful, and 2 weeks later, literally 2 weeks from that point as we're filming this, I still feel awful. So
You're going to have some voiceovers from me for a lot of this and a lot less reading updates, unfortunately. However, when we come to our wrap up at the end of the video, you will see whether or not it affected my reading.
Hey, so let's see what's behind drawer number 20. There she is. What we got? There's Costa Rica. I think this is a lungo. Yep, that's a lungo. Right, let's see what we got this morning. Some voice would be nice. If my voice is behind this window, I would like that. Well, that was not in there. That's great, isn't it? I found it. It had fallen out. Didn't find my voice in there though. This is not good. This is worse than the last 2 days. I can teach with no voice. Absolutely I can. I'm a good teacher. Therefore I don't need a voice. Whenever I do a readathon like this, and I do my little bit of reading before school, or if I'm just doing a buddy read and I'm doing my little bit of reading before school, I'm like, why do I not read before school more often? Because I really enjoy it, and I can read around about 5% of like a normal 400-ish page novel, so I could make a dent in something if I read 5% before school, 5% after school. I could read a novel in 10 days. Hopefully the pod isn't hiding this morning. Let's hope so. I feel like the voice is slightly better today. Can't hear, but the voice is a bit better. Oh, it's an Arandio. This is also a Grand Lungo. There's been a lot of Grand Lungos in this box.
I was a fool for saying that the voice was slightly better because my voice was gone completely by the end of day 5. So here's day 6, opening what would have been my birthday pod. This is Saturday and I decided not to talk at all over the weekend. However, on Saturday morning I did finish reading Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Page Toon. I believe I made this coffee later on in the day. Not a massive fan of this one because it doesn't taste caramelly enough for me, but because it's the weekend I decided to make myself a latte, which I really enjoyed, and finished off reading Page Toon and then started my next novel. I also did a little bit of audiobook listening on this day whilst I was doing bits and pieces, and then later to come you will see the classic Readathon Bout of Books bath. I also got some book mail today, so I'm about to open that and show you that. This one comes out on the 19th of January. And since I was showing you things I got in the post, here is my Lush Boxing Day order that I bought with my birthday money. And for the last day of Bout of Books, I finished off reading This Could Be Everything by Ava Rice. I literally do have my coffee, my book and my blanket here. And I also listened to the last, I think I only had about an hour left of People We Hate at the Wedding, and watched that movie too. So, end of the readathon. Here's the stats. I can't believe it, but I actually managed to do this readathon, as I like to do any Bout of Books readathon, as a 7 in 7. fair enough, they weren't all full-length novels, but I read 7 things in 7 days with no voice, still going to school the entire time. You'll have seen quite a few of these anyway, so I do have some actual physical copies. So I read the Heartstopper yearbook, which is like it's not a graphic novel, it's like a graphic non-fiction, smells amazing. The artwork is obviously wonderful, and it gives you a history of like how the Heartstopper series came about, a little bit about Alice Oseman, a little bit about the adaptation for Netflix, and kind of what's next for the characters, and a little bit background about the characters. There's some really cute character profiles in here, including like dogs as well. Siri's getting involved now. And then, so that was 160 pages. And then I read the last 2 parts in the Escape to Darling Cove series, because this one was released on the Thursday of the Bout of Books week, and this one, each of those 2 parts was 100 pages. So this one's out now, and it will be linked in the description box. And then the other physical thing that I have to show you that I read this week, I think the bookmark's still in here somewhere. Yes, it is. My lovely little bookmark, which I did have. I had my coffee, I had my blanket, I had my book, and I'm still poorly. Seriously, why does Siri keep getting involved? I don't know. This one is This Could Be Everything by Ava Rice. So this one's described as a coming of age story, which it very much was. The kind of vibes it gave me was the Caitlin Moran series, How to Build a Girl. Kind of felt a little bit like that. And it was set in the 90s, but it was quite a quick read in a way, because I felt like it was on the shallower side and didn't give as much depth, so it kind of kept moving quite pacily, which I think was really good for me reading it at the time, because obviously I really wasn't feeling great, and it didn't have a lot of characters for me to have to get my head round, but there was a lot of things happening to our main character, February. It was very much coming of age for her, and it had an epilogue, which I am here for, and this one equates to 432 pages. This one comes out in February 2023. I think it's on the inside somewhere, the actual date. I want to say it's like the 17th of February. Nope, just February 2023. I'd say it's mid-February 2023. So I was kind of getting a head start on my reading for the year, which this Bout of Books Readathon is always great for. But yeah, 160 pages, 2 lots of 100 pages, 432 pages. And now on to the books I don't have physical copies of. One that wasn't on my TBR that I just decided to read so I could make the book versus movie video of this one, and I did actually watch the movie during the week as well, so look out for that video coming up soon if it hasn't already been posted. This is The People We Hate at the Wedding by Grant Ginder, I'm not sure how we pronounce that one. This one comes in at 326 pages. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. I did find myself listening to it whilst kind of doing bits and pieces, having a bath, in the car, whatever, and kind of switching off a little bit. So that wasn't an amazing start to the year. It would definitely be in there with the kind of like 3-star reads. And then of course we have what was always earmarked to be my first book of the year that I did as a buddy read with Hayley, coming in at 400 pages. Only Love Can Hurt Like This. It was so hard to stop reading this one and put this one down, and I think that's why I read so many other short things on day one, because I needed to distract myself, because I didn't have work to distract myself. So it was alright when I was just reading a little bit of this before work, and then going into work, and then coming home and going to bed. But Only Love Can Hurt Like This. This one comes out in April, so I think it's the 25th in the US and 27th in the UK, so it's a little while to wait. But even though Paige has switched publishers, she's still writing amazing books, and this was so good. And I need to read more stuff set in Indianapolis. I haven't read enough stuff set in Indianapolis. Funnily enough, The People We Hate at the Wedding had some Indiana content to it. But yeah. And then the first audiobook of the year that I read, also very apt, was Dear Dolly, on Love, Life and Friendship. So this is basically a collection of Dolly Alderton's letters from her problem column, and kind of follow up on her book that she wrote that was turned into a TV series that's amazing, that I reread last year and absolutely adored. And I just loved this one, and I thought it was great. And it was nice and short. It was narrated by her. It's non-fiction. It was a great start to the year. And that one comes in at, let me just do a quick fact check, 224 pages, and I do have a physical copy, but it's not with me yet. So altogether, I read 7 things. You can hear the voice is still not, it's not there. You're like, how are you teaching with this, Catriona? I read 1,742 pages, 7 things in a week. I didn't post any pictures. My vlogging wasn't very good because I was like suffering. But it was a great start to the year, and like I'm already reading another 2 audiobooks now the readathon's over. So in terms of my January reading, it's just kicked it off really nicely. And even though I haven't felt wonderful, it's been nice to still then be able to read and enjoy the readathon and just be like, yes, I'm in the Bout of Books zone again. I didn't post any pictures, I didn't do any chat, I didn't do any weekly updates, but the voice is running out now. So if you enjoyed this video, and just to show your appreciation of me actually still filming even though I feel like this, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in comments what's the first book you've read in 2023. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because I've still got some top 10s and reviews for the year and other things coming your way, as well as that book versus movie video, so you're not going to want to miss out on those. But with that being said, I will see you with my next video. Thanks again for watching.